My friends, what's going on? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And I'm going to be waking up legendary with you here this morning, as I do every morning, my friends. Why do you think that we have Wake Up Legendary? Well, we need to wake up legendary as well, for Christmas sakes. So, we have a fantastic guest, as we normally do. And I am thrilled to welcome Amalia to the show, and you all are going to get a treat today. Amalia, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Oh man, we wouldn't have missed the opportunity to talk to you again, I tell you. And you're crushing it, and you're absolutely crushing it. How does it feel? What's your immediate reaction about everything that's happened in your business recently?
It's been a crazy, like we have been growing and glowing since last time we spoke. It's so funny because it's like less than 3 months ago. And back then I was like, oh, I made it. Like things are going so well. And now fast forward 3 months, I was like, oh no, now I've actually feel like I made it more than previously. So it's been crazy, but I feel very lucky, very blessed. So yeah, happy with the transformation.
Yeah. So give us a little bit for those who are new to our community who didn't hear your previous episode. Give
Yeah.
us a little bit, Amalia, of your backstory and what brought you here and what were you looking to get out of Legendary when you first found us?
Yeah, so to take it back all the way, like I am a person that's very, I would say like hardworking, but also like quite competitive. So even when I started working at like 15, I automatically like worked hard and became like a bestseller at what I was doing then. So up until like 28, I kind of always wanted to be the best, the best. And then what happened is that I got burned out from always putting this enormous pressure on myself. So then one day I came across this girl on social media who talked about affiliate marketing, and I just connected with it. Like I was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. I want to promote these brands. So yeah, I took the 15-day challenge. I then started to do what we learn in the challenge, and here I am.
Mm, wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And how long ago was that?
So I took the 15-day challenge in August and then spent about 2 months because I was still in my 9 to 5 to get up and running. And then now I've been doing it for 5 months in total.
Yeah. And I mean, you're a student of education as well. You looks like you took our challenge, enrolled in our blueprints as
Yeah.
well, and are not only earning but also learning as you go. And I think
Yeah.
that's the most beautiful part about this whole thing, right? Is that you can get in and actually begin earning as you learn. Not make
Yeah.
$1 million overnight, not get rich quick or whatever other maybe unrealistic expectations people might have, but you really can earn significant income. I mean, you're crushing it, and I don't know all of your income streams, and I just know what you earn here as an affiliate from Legendary.
Mm.
That's the only data that we have into. All of our students, just by the way, we can't track how far people take these skills and what they do with them. I mean, you'd have to really survey every single person that went through our information. But man, do you ever pinch yourself here recently and go, whew, is this real?
Yeah, I think also because I've only like from these 5 months I've saved up the money, so I haven't actually physically started using it. But I just see my balance keep going, like increasing, increasing, and because I'm not on those money yet, I'm like still living as I used to before. Almost, I still go on holidays and go on nice dinners and stuff, but it's just I feel like it's almost not real yet. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, I also feel like I'm very like, my parents also taught me to be very like organized. So I'm like, okay, my pension, like I try to kind of put the money out, like we're saving as much as possible. But it's definitely a pinch me money when you check your bank account, and it's yeah, much more than it used to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you've added a couple of zeros, right, onto the balance, one or two zeros, I mean, get it starts to get silly. And has your what limiting beliefs did you have before that you don't have anymore? What do you feel like this experience has? What belief has it rocked? What lie has it shattered? Uh, how have you changed in terms of your outlook on, what's possible and what you believe you can do, what you can accomplish, how much money you can make or save in a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, I was like, where do I start? Because like only then 6, 7 months ago, I didn't even know about this opportunity. I thought in order to make great money online, you need to be like a big influencer, which I obviously wasn't at all. Or there needs like you're that kind of smart person that always knew you were going to be an entrepreneur. So for me, the fact that I didn't even know until I came across Legendary as well. So it's just been like a lot. The fact that I, as a normal person who just followed a proven strategy, can start making the same in a month that I did in a year in February last year is crazy. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's mind blowing, and it's been probably it's life changing. I don't know what more to say. I'm really, really happy I came across this opportunity.
What advice would you give to somebody who's just coming in and starting the challenge here right now, who's feeling excited and overwhelmed?
Yeah, I would say go for it. Like that's the first thing. Just go for it. And also I get a lot of DMs about people being overwhelmed, and I understand. So for me, it's just like instead of looking at the bigger picture, like just start with one step at a time. Just go through the training, take notes, because everyone wants to be at the stage where I'm at now, or even people that who are doing even better. But sometimes to get there you would need to do the action first. So just learn how do I post on social media, how do I attach the links. It's literally you just need to learn the basic and step by step, because that is still progress, and that's how you get there in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's really, if you plug into this our training and this community, there's nothing that you'll miss. You'll get it all. You'll have more examples than you need.
Mm,
Literally. You have
literally.
more you have more examples than you need here. It's like people it is so difficult. I mean, go to your community college, go to your state university and ask them to give you 600 or 700 examples where the dean of the college or even a professor has interviewed 600 or 700 people and said, show me how you've taken this education and applied it in the real world and made money from it, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. The only, what colleges do, which is funny and ironic, they bring in speakers and celebrities and musicians like Rihanna and like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. They'll bring these people in to talk to, and you know what? I can see that on YouTube today. I
Yeah.
can hear an interview from Dave Chappelle. So there's really something special and unique. And I think people, when they come into our community, they're sort of expecting the same old, same old. And I really think also, and you tell me your opinion, that a lot of the training and the community is underused, not overused.
Yeah, no, there's so much, valuable content, as you say. And not only that, but also once you actually found your niche, you also find inspiration even more places like social media. So yeah, and the combination is great because you get the best of both.
Yeah. Let's talk about picking a niche. This is something that so many times people come in and just they allow it to be a brick wall,
Yeah.
right? Nobody has built that wall and
Mm,
nobody says that it's a hard thing. I mean, you can promote one product, you can promote multiple products. A niche is really just a product. I mean, it's
yeah.
just okay, I'm going to start with a product and I'm going to you're probably already somewhat familiar with the niche. You don't really need to I think we overcomplicate it a lot. How did you simplify it, and what were some of the thoughts that went through your head when you were initially saying, "What do I want to promote?"
So for me, actually, I was like done with the 15-day challenge and actually started just with the blueprints before I really made up my mind. Because first I was like, maybe I should be in the wellness because I'm into meditation, and but then like what has always been my calling is helping others, and also especially like empowering women and in order to now help. So I'm in the wealth niche in terms of also like helping women and others to get financial freedom.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's so simple to go into to find a solution for something that you're struggling with right now, and what I mean by that is my very first product that I promoted, or niche, was network marketing. I was doing network marketing offline,
Mm,
like running around doing MLM, like Amway, Herbalife, like those kind of companies.
yeah.
I had gotten clean recently in 2008, and some guy recruited me into this company that sold cell phones. It was a cell phone MLM, and the company ended up shutting down before I even got my cell phone in the mail. But that
Man.
was one of the lessons that I've learned about, like, really actually choosing a company. Things
Yeah.
are never saturated. If a company's been around for a long time, it just shows that it's a stable offer,
Yeah.
But anyways, I went into that network marketing niche and found some training about how to grow a network marketing business online instead of offline, like I was doing, because I was failing miserably, and
Mm,
how to generate leads online, how to find find people and approach people on social media. We're talking about 2008, 2009, back when I did this.
yeah.
So my niche was something that I needed a help with, and I found that help, and it was like, wow, this is helpful, right? And so then I turned around and became an affiliate of that. Not only did I continue to grow my network marketing company because I joined another one, but I also created multiple streams of income by promoting these training products that I had received benefit from. So
Mm,
I would also I would also say, what have you bought recently? Those of you, I mean, there's a lot of you have taken other courses. You've gone through other things. You've bought, there's things that you could buy right now and spend an extra 25, 35, $99 on a course and just go through it and take it real quick and just sit through and take it real quick and receive the value from it. And then you'll actually have a real product story. I think so many of us are trying to circumvent, actually just going through the process. And there's no kind of back door to it. There's no side door. One of the best ways to have a product story is to use the product.
yeah.
It's kind of like the guy who sells Fords but has a Chevy parked back around the thing. It's kind of like, hey man, that guy is hoping nobody sees that. So what comes up for you as I say this about really getting in there, using a product? I mean, if you're having a hard time picking a product or a niche to promote, dig deeper. What comes up for you as I say these things?
It should definitely be something that you're passionate about, because you do speak about or the product or the niche a lot on social media, and you want to come across as trustworthy as well. So it should be something, in my opinion, that you have tried and that you actually know works and can benefit others. So that was like the first thing for me in this course. I was like, okay, I know that it's working now. I've tried it myself. This can really help people to get out of that rat race.
Yeah.
So for me, that was just like an instinct. Then once I found out what I wanted to do, to continue in that path.
Yeah, and so many people start their career the same way. We're a launch pad for entrepreneurs here at
Mm,
Legendary Marketer. And so the way that I've seen this happen for over 10 years, somebody will go through a course that's helpful, especially if it's in the make money online niche, and they will want to share that with other people. They'll
yeah,
want to share that freedom message, and it's more popular now than ever, and it's more needed now than ever. People are more receptive to it now than ever. But
absolutely.
this happens all the time. I've seen this happen for 10 years in various different ventures that I've been involved in. Especially, I've always worked in this niche, the wealth niche, the make money online niche.
Yeah.
And people will go through a course and it will be very natural, just like when you watch a movie, for
Mm,
people to want to come to go and refer other people and say, the movie was really good, you should go watch it. So
yeah.
it's a very natural thing to do that. That doesn't mean that's the only movie you're ever going to watch for the rest of
Exactly.
your life. It
Yeah.
just means that you're really excited about this movie. This is what you're talking about right now. Maybe you'll keep talking about it and it will be your favorite forever, but maybe and most likely you're going to watch more movies throughout your life. I think that's a good analogy for how a lot of people get started in affiliate marketing. What
Yeah.
comes up for you?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I've already been approached. I think once you start exploring this area, and especially because what should probably talk a little bit about later, how I grew my Instagram is like now 141,000. So
Wow.
then there's so many people approaching me as well, wanting to do, wanting me to be an affiliate for them. So it like opened up doors as well that I before didn't even know about. So yeah, I think it's a great place to start. And it's also like for me, because I got burned out in my 9 to 5, knowing how stressful a corporate job and life can be, that I want to kind of give back as well to the people who sees this and feel like they can relate to my story.
Absolutely, absolutely, and yes, we will talk about your Instagram in a second. But tell us first, how does that feel to be able to go from somebody who is burnt out, a burnt out employee,
Yeah.
who just was feeling like you were getting, you were working hard, but maybe not getting anywhere, especially not as fast as you want, and it certainly probably didn't feel sustainable. How does that feel to now be able to be contributing to people's lives in such a meaningful way? It really, when you think about the impact that this information gives to people's life, look at what it did for you. I mean,
Yeah.
that you have something special when you're sharing it, right?
Yeah.
The power of what it can do to somebody's life.
Yeah, and I think so when I got burned out, I was 28, and I've been in that marketing job then for 4 years, but it was completely different than affiliate marketing. So whenever someone goes like, "Oh, but you had marketing experience," it's like, no, my parents are teachers and they teach one subject. They're not experienced to teach in different subjects. So even though I know marketing, I had no clue about affiliate marketing. So I was in this job, and it was just two of us who had this role. So the company kind of put all the work on us and our shoulders. So that then, and in addition to me always wanting to be best, I want to take on more and more work. At some point, I just like it was completely stop, and I noticed it by like me starting to get more emotional, because I'm not necessarily emotional, but it was just opening the laptop could make my teary eyes and start crying, and I was like, something's off here.
Wow.
So I actually had to go on sick leave for just like 1 month. And then when I returned, I thought the solution would be for me to switch company. Because as I mentioned, my parents are teachers, I didn't really think outside the box there would be any other opportunities than to kind of go in the corporate direction. So I got a job which had almost double the salary. And I was like, oh, this is going to help my situation. Like, at least I have money now. And there was more people in the same role. So I thought it's going to be less stressful for me. But then I was only 6 months in when I noticed like the corporate life isn't for me. I'm starting to feel the same emotions already. I'm starting to get very stressed just from sending emails and having a lot of the pressure, because I was in a senior position as well. So at that point, I knew there was like I said I didn't know about the opportunity outside, which is kind of completely not true, because I did a little bit of drop shipping, but I didn't know about affiliate marketing. I just knew drop shipping, and drop shipping required so much work. So for me, that was an option to go back to. But then when I came across this, I was like, okay, this is the light bulb moment for me. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And now being in a position where I've done the full circle and I can help people get out of it is amazing.
Really amazing. Hey, we're gonna listen to and hear about how Amalia grew her Instagram here in a second. But for those of you who are going through the challenge right now, and you're waiting for your next appointment, or I want to just invite you to look here at this Facebook page. Now, this is our Legendary Marketer Facebook page. This is facebook.com/Legendary Marketer Official. Okay, so you'll come here. And if you click on live, okay, which we're live right now, but if you click on live, okay, let me make sure that volume's off. You've got nearly 700 interviews right here. You've got nearly 700 interviews of people that you can listen to. And I want you to notice that these are not 5, 10, 15 minutes. They're not pre-written questions. As a matter of fact, Amalia might have been a little bit shocked to the first time that she came on to see how, nonchalant I am about it, right? But there's lots of here's your
Yeah. I
Me
had to
too.
rewatch it actually, like literally an hour before I came on here. I was like, what did I say in this one? So I don't keep repeating myself. But as you say, there's probably a lot of people who haven't seen the one I did in December.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? If you listen to it again, my friends, you'd probably hear something different.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, we're gonna be. It's kind of like a book. Every time you read it, you know, you're probably gonna hear something differently. But man, you can go back through and you can follow people's stories. We got people who are, you know, speaking at masterminds. This is a teacher named Kelly who was is a teacher up I think in New Jersey or something, and you know she's helped her kids in her classroom learn affiliate marketing, and now her business is absolutely exploding and taking off. It's such a cool story. But my point here is that if you're waiting for, you know, to continue through the challenge, don't be afraid to come here and you know, watch a couple of these, and just the gold nuggets will just, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So come over here, listen to a couple of these interviews, even the recent ones. There's so much to learn, so much to soak up, and so much that, you know, is given away for free right here on these interviews. What, before we move on to your Instagram, have, you know, what is your thought about Wake Up Legendary and coming on and being on now for the second time, and the fact that, you know, every single day, 5 days a week, we have a new student come on who's sharing about their success story? Like, what's your thoughts? What's your takeaway from Wake Up Legendary now having been on for the second time?
You know, first, I think it's so impressive the fact that you go live like five, so 5 times a week then. So Monday to Friday, you go live, right?
I don't do Wednesday. Joanne does Wednesday, but I do 4 days.
But still, yeah, like
Four
it's
days.
super impressive that people can come on here. And I think one of the questions when people leave their 9 to 5 is like, will it be lonely? And I was like, no, you have this community right here, not just a Facebook group, but the fact that you go live, I can't see the chat now, but if people are chatting away,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it's very impressive. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we had 600 students on Decade in a Day last Friday, either last Friday or the Friday before. I mean, you know, these coaching calls, just for those of you who don't know or are about to enroll in the blueprints, you know, we have live coaching, 2 calls per day for all blueprint students. One support 101. Actually, there's 3 a day that we do every day. One is here, Wake Up Legendary. This is live every day. One is support 101, happens at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The second is hot seat and fast feedback coaching calls at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And you can register right under your product section in your back office, blueprints, and then register for live training. So if you're watching and you're thinking right now, you know, how active is the community behind the paywall? It's very active.
Yeah.
It's very active. It's not just, oh, we're marketing, and then it's, you know, tumbleweeds. We're very active, and we can't, no issue goes unseen, unnoticed. There's a lot of chatter in Facebook groups, and I mean that happens. A lot of peers talking back and forth, but I mean the seriousness at which we take this education process is and we've got some serious people working inside of our company who take this seriously. I mean, it's not just me, it's nearly 100 people, over 100 people now, who are working behind the scenes, from BPAs to marketing coaches, and just customer support. They all have that same drive and desire to make the experience legendary for every person. Now,
Yeah.
you know, if a person's a problem child, then we can't, you know, we can't help them. But I mean, look, if you want to learn, we're here to teach. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And
Yeah.
we're not life coaches, we're not therapists, we're not claiming to be something that we're not. We specialize in online marketing. And there's a lot of other things that we've learned along the way that we share. You want to share something before we move on to your Instagram? Because I'm sure people want to hear about that. But what comes up for you over these thoughts I just shared?
You know, I was going to say you definitely help people set themselves up for success, because there are so many tools and so many people that are always willing to help. And it's one of the questions I keep getting constantly in my DM is like, will I start earning money straight away? And I was like, would you, it's like the same if you were to go to university, like you're not expected the day you graduate to get a job. You actually need to put in the work yourself. But here you get all the tools to help you to succeed. So it's really the action you take. But I haven't done anything outside of the training. Like literally, I haven't even taken advantage of everything you've offered. So when you said, I was like, oh, Mr. actually knows some live training I haven't joined.
Of
Maybe
course.
I should. Yeah. So
well, most action takers do. They just get in and they just, as you say, you can start right away. The answer to that person's question is maybe you can't earn $1 the day you enroll, but how many months? I mean, your business has transformed since December, which is, and when did you actually start? When was the day, like the month that you started the challenge?
So I started in October and I got my first, but it was not a high ticket. It was like more small in just on my 8th day. So literally just a week after I started earning money. But then I would say it was really in my 3rd month. So like in then kind of the end of December that I started earning like over 10K a month. And then from the 3rd to the 4th month, it just escalated. I went to started earning like I think 44K in January, which is then my year
44K in January alone.
Mm.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And that's not something that the average person should expect.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just, I mean, you know, we just have to let you know if you're watching that you know, these are Amalia's results. You could make more, you could make less, you could make nothing at all. And it also depends on your niche and the product that you go into. But wow, I mean, you know, people are producing these kind of numbers all the time. Like, I mean, that's extraordinary. That's really awesome. But I mean, we do have affiliates who in January, I mean, made more than triple that.
Yeah,
you know?
I know it. Yeah,
and
I keep following them. I'm like,
we don't I mean, we don't want to put these numbers out to make it seem like this is the average result and everybody should expect this. And, you know, people who go through our blueprints, they may not promote our products or, you know, they may go on to do something else in which we can't track that. But yeah, it really, you know, when people, you can tell somebody who's just going to have a tough life when that's the questions that they ask. Can I earn money today? You know, or can I do this with no work? Can I have the exact same life that I have now, put very little? I mean, this is not a lotto. And for some people, if that's your number one question, how fast can I earn money? Can I earn money fast? Kind of like a job. You know, it's like, well, if I put in hours, I need to have my pay. You're not ready to be an entrepreneur with that mindset. You're just not. You're not ready to be an entrepreneur. And I can say that with love, but it's facts, because if I can't tell you, who can, right?
Yeah.
You're not ready with that mindset to be an entrepreneur. You're going to struggle. And guess what? You know, we see this in our Facebook groups all the time. You know, this struggle language. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'm struggling. I'm struggling. You folks didn't come to Legendary and start struggling. You've been struggling. You've been struggling. Now you're just struggling in a new place. And if you think that, if you're like, well, it's Legendary's fault, it's like, well, we know better. We know that you've probably been struggling. It's not our fault, because hundreds, thousands of people are succeeding. It's right here. And it takes a really humble, and it takes a really mature person to own that and say, you're right, I do need to change. If I want to be an entrepreneur, if I want to be successful with this, I need to realign my expectations. I need to stop asking silly questions that don't even, it's not, common sense will tell you you're not going to, and you don't even start a job and start making money right away. You got to wait 2 weeks, for God's sakes. You know, so it's like silly questions get silly answers. You know what I mean? And if you ask life silly questions, if you ask people, life is going to throw you silly answers. So start asking better questions. Like you can very easily reframe that question and say, okay, What is the fastest path for me to start earning as I learn? That's a completely different question than, the one that you had heard the person ask. And I'm sure you see this all the time. What,
Yeah.
how do you stay patient, and what do you tell people when, I've said some of my thoughts. What do you say in response to people when they start asking those kind of questions? Can I earn money right away? Is this a scam? They're all
Yeah.
skeptical, but you can tell that they're struggling in their life. They're just projecting that onto you, and maybe they're
Yeah.
also a little bit skeptical. How do you respond to those? And this is a nice segue into your Instagram, because I'm sure you're getting a lot of these questions on social media.
Yeah, it's literally in my DMs and by email I get the most. And I like, my natural response is saying like, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. So there requires work from your end. And then I'm literally giving the example that I just said, like, when someone graduates, you're not expected to get a job straight away. You need to go to the job interview, so you need to put in the work yourself. So here, even though, and I mentioned I earn the commission only after 8 days, however, this is purely based on the effort you put in.
Yeah.
But also, like, one of the other question I keep getting is like, what's the success rate of the 15-day course? And here my answer is like, what's your definition of success? Because someone joins
Hold on. Keep talking. I've got somebody knocking at my door here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. I'll just keep talking then.
Talk about the success rate and what you're talking about. It's really important. I just got to grab this real quick.
Okay, you do you. I got this. No, so what I was saying is, when people ask me what's the success rate of the 15-day course, I literally just ask the question back saying, so what's your definition of success? Because some people just join to earn like a few hundreds on the side next to their 9 to 5, while others like me want to go all in, want to make as much money as possible. So it's literally just like, there's no right or wrong answer in terms of what the success rate is. And now I'm not sure what to talk about. Perfect timing. That was literally it. I was like, just finished my sentence there.
Well, it was our water guy. It was our Mountain Valley sparkling water guy. He was delivering more water. I'm not joking with you right now, I drink 2 gallons of this a day.
A sparkling water?
Oh my God, it's an addiction. So let's talk about your Instagram and what has happened with that. What have you learned recently? What were the difference makers that made it begin to take off for you? Talk to us about it.
Yeah, because last time we spoke, I had 3,000 followers on Instagram, which I was quite happy about. I was like, this is the beginning. It's a part of the process. And then in December, literally just a few days after, I got 130,000 followers in December. So it kind of just blew up. And I think it's been after I posted consistently for 2 months.
Okay.
And then also I follow the blueprints to the T. So if you're watching this and you're wondering if you should invest in the blueprints, it's been the best investment I've ever made. Because this is all grown organically, have not spent a penny on any ads. So what I've been doing since, like, I haven't done any massive difference since when I first started posting. I keep doing the same thing in terms of posting twice a day, which has helped a lot. And I know like some people recommend posting maybe up to 5 times a day, but for me that was just too stressful. I'm prioritizing my peace and the freedom as well. So for me it was twice a day. And then I'm using trending sounds as well. So normally I find that from TikTok, literally for my For You page, I'm finding sounds. And it's a good sign if they don't have more than 7 to, like, if they have more to 7 to 10,000 times they've been used. However, if they're trending and you see people are posting recently and they have got great views, you can still use it. Also, when it comes to both Instagram, or actually all of it, I'm using hashtags as well. Even on Pinterest, I'm using hashtags. So here, if you're just starting out and you have less than 1,000 followers, I wouldn't use any hashtags that has more than 10,000. So even I have if you go to my Instagram page, I also have like a Q&A section there where I kind of try to cover a lot of these questions in terms of social media growth.
Yeah.
I'm posting a lot, like I'm being omnipresent. So I'm taking from TikTok first, literally using Snaptic, free tool, downloading, putting it across my other channels.
Are they is TikTok yet allowing you to be able to download your videos without the watermark? That's a function that they're rolling out across some accounts right now.
Yeah, that might be something I just haven't had. I guess it takes me 2 seconds just to do that.
Alex Ford, yeah, Snaptic is very easy, but Alex Ford posted that about that in our affiliates group.
Okay.
And he's in Australia, so they may be rolling that out for people over in the Eastern Hemisphere. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
But okay, so cool. So you are going and creating TikTok or content on TikTok first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of an important distinction, for those of you who are going through the blueprints. Go through that, get your funnel set up, go through compliance, and then go through your funnel setup on module 5, and then you can jump down to the TikTok section. Because if you're creating content for TikTok, then you can then reuse that content, and that can be your content strategy to start out with, or even on an ongoing basis. And there's lots of different examples in there, and lots of different education and little tech videos about how to, find your sounds, how to,
all of that, yeah,
all that kind of stuff. If you're wondering, how do I use the app, and you're brand new and you don't want to sift through YouTube University to try to find a bunch of outdated information or confusing information. It's actually creating content on these apps. Once you get the hang of the app, it's always awkward at first. There's always, you got to kind of learn what the app what it does.
Yeah, I didn't have it before. So I never had TikTok, didn't even have it on my phone. So I just followed that training. I was like, okay, this is how you edit. And I can see in the beginning, my editing skills were not very impressive, but it's about putting yourself out there and trying, and you'd be like, okay. So previously I didn't even know that I could record like in TikTok, so I used my camera and then I just uploaded. It was like very strange, but it's a part of the learning curve in the process. And now obviously it goes a lot smoother, but that was something I had to go through.
Yeah, and it's a learning curve like any other tool that you're going to use. Kurt asked, do you use the trending sounds on TikTok, and then just when you download the video, it still has that trending sound from TikTok, right? It just doesn't have you just remove the watermark, but it still has the content, the image or the imagery, the visuals, and the sound, right?
It has everything. So what you'll notice that in a few cases, Instagram will pick up the sound. So then if you use Miley Cyrus flowers, for instance, it can actually find it again when you then upload it in Instagram. So you don't need to do anything. However, in most cases, it won't pick up the trending sound then in Instagram. So it will be like your marketing BFF, and then it says original sound. However, it does seems like Instagram is kind of appreciating people who are making original sounds as well. So I'm getting credit for something I didn't do. But so that's how it works. Literally, you have the trending sound on TikTok, but on Instagram it just copies over.
Wow, really interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with content ideas? This is another thing that a lot of people, they kind of build I love analogies because they really help us to get a visual of what we're doing, right? And I kind of feel like a lot of us marketers, we get started and then we begin building these walls, right? With kind of reasons and kind of things that, it's like, well, I don't know how to do this, or I'm struggling with that. And we make it a wall instead of a door, or a window you can crawl through, right? You got to be able to move forward. You can't build a wall around yourself to where all of a sudden you can't take any action and you're paralyzed. So how do you come up with content ideas? Are you borrowing inspiration and ideas from other marketers? Are you using situations that happen in your life? And I'm talking strictly about video right now, social media video and or post content, not about emails and stuff like that, just kind of social media marketing content.
Yeah, so I'm just doing reels, and what I'm doing is I'm literally just spending time on the app, mainly the For You page, and then I see inspiration. So it doesn't only need to be inspiration from people who are doing affiliate marketing. It could also be people who do like user generated content, because they're quite similar in terms of the content they create. But what I try to focus on is just saving then the videos that I have over 100,000 views, because I don't want to recreate a video that had like 300, because it doesn't make sense, and it might decrease the chances of me getting that success. So knowing that sounds and certain words are working, and then I'm doing that, but I'm trying to do with my own little twist, because I don't want to copy completely. But that's the great thing, like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can literally take inspiration from social media, and yeah, as I mentioned, even not in your niche. So it's great. It's also makes it a lot easier, and I'm reposting a lot as well. I had one video that just got 6,000 views, and then a month later it got 150,000 views. So my own things, yeah, even though like I didn't add anything. So it's great to repost your own content from time to time as well.
Yeah, this this content is really more valuable than we give it credit for, right?
Mm.
It really is kind of like money in the bank, if you will, or like kind of gold in a safe, right? Because I can pull it out and I can reuse it. I can use it for, it's got utility. It's an asset. It's not something. In everything that I do in my marketing business is an asset. You know, all the emails that I write, all the copy that I write, the videos that I produce, I save those. I can save them in a Google Drive folder. We always want to make sure that we save our videos that we post on TikTok, or,
Yeah.
you know, all your original videos. Particularly try to save them after you've ran them through Snaptic, and then put them into a Google Drive folder, because you know, these social media accounts can also, you know, get restricted, you know, we may have to start a new one.
Yeah.
How have you approached that? Have you had any restrictions, bans? Have you needed to start new accounts, or have you been steady, smooth sailing with the one account?
That's it. Yeah.
Knock on wood, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, no, that's the part that's stressing me out a little bit, because I have heard so many stories about people having to restart, they're getting blocked, banned. But personally, so far so good. I have only had that one account that's been growing. But what I see, like after I hit 100,000 followers, there's so many accounts impersonating me. So I think there's about like 14 fake ones. So people obviously get confused. I made like a pinned post about that, saying this is my only account. It would be nice to get like a blue tick or something so people can know the difference. But
would you pay for, you know, that Twitter, I guess, you know, rolled that out to where
yeah,
you
my friend, I haven't looked into it, but my friend mentioned that actually.
But Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, would you pay $10 a month to have a verified blue check on all three of those platforms?
Well, actually, like now that you're saying it, I think the reason, like, because for me, I don't necessarily care about the blue tick, but I get
It's the
daily
verification.
messages. Yes.
It's the verification, that because in order to get that blue check, you have to show your ID.
Yeah.
So it really is a verification. I'm excited about it. I'm telling you, the amount of impersonators and scammers and just scum that is out here on the internet impersonating people who are doing things and trying to get it is at an all-time high. You folks need to be really, really aware, and don't get into folks, stay out of dark alleys. Don't, and you know what dark alleys are on the internet? It's a DM, damn it.
It is.
Stay out of dark alleys. I'm not gonna go and hit you up on Instagram. I don't have a crypto opportunity.
No.
I'm not promoting Bitcoins and shit coins, and I'm not. It's like, come
100%.
People, please be careful out here, because there's some dirty dogs in these dark alleyways out here. There's some dirty dogs, and I can't wait to pay my $10 for my verification.
Yeah, I think that would make it so much easier, because then you know there's only one account. They can't get that blue tick because they can't verify, obviously, that there's someone or not. So for me, it would just save a lot of time from my end, because I won't need to reassure people in the DM, but also the fact that it wouldn't be an opportunity then for people to trick or scam my followers. So now that you put it on the table and made me aware, I will definitely look into that as well.
Yeah. So are you using, how much are you duplicating hashtags from, say, TikTok over to Instagram? Are you looking for, I remember you said you were looking for hashtags on Instagram, but trying to find ones that didn't have audiences of over 10,000 people following that hashtag. If you all don't know what that means, we can show you what that means here in a moment. But as I pull that up, because I think that's what you're talking about. Every hashtag on Instagram has like, people can follow a hashtag. You can follow a hashtag. I believe that the numbers are either I believe it's how many people are following the hashtag, or is it how many times the hashtag's been used?
Been used, yeah.
So is that, talk about hashtags and translating or transferring them over or repurposing them from TikTok, or are you going all original? And let's revisit that real quick.
Yeah, so actually when it comes to hashtags, this is where I differentiate. So I don't use the same hashtags on TikTok and the same caption actually on TikTok as I do on Instagram. I've just saved it in my notes section. So whenever I post, I just copy, paste. But yes, I'm using then relevant hashtags to that platform. I will say that I was better at this in the very beginning because then my focus was more on growing. Now that I've seen my posts have constantly kind of performed, I don't think that the hashtag itself has that power to make the difference between 300,000 views, but it's just that tool is like better safe than sorry. It takes you a few seconds to add. So in the beginning, I was very careful in terms of when I had a few followers, I made sure to use specific hashtags. And I don't remember the specific order, but it's in my Q&A section for everyone who wants to have a look after. I put like, if you have this amount of followers, use this amount of hashtags and so on. So you can kind of see the full amount there.
And when she says, you know, the amount of, you know, time something's been used. Okay. So yeah. So you can see how make money online, free, make money online. Oh, let me put in the hashtag. Sorry. So yeah. So you can kind of see how many times that the hashtag has been used. That's what she was talking about when she was like, Amalie, when you were like, look for hashtags to use that maybe have, you know, 10, 15,000 posts, not the ones that have, you know, hundreds of thousands of posts. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, because if your account is just starting out or you have less than 5,000 followers, if you then use a hashtag with millions of that has been used millions of times, your post won't be visible then when people click on the hashtag. So you want to make sure to increase your chances of your post being seen when people actually search for that hashtag.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if I type in weight, you can see all, you know, a lot of the most used. Weight loss journey has 49 million posts. I wonder if they ever reset these. You know what I mean? If these are 49 million posts with that all time, or this year, this month, or, you know, what that really is. But, you know, I've never really put a lot of emphasis on this kind of stuff, Amalia. You know, what hashtags I use, all that kind of stuff. You want to know why?
No. Yeah, I want to know why.
The reason is because a good hashtag ain't going to make a bad piece of content great. You know what I mean? A hashtag is going to be basically a contingency plan, kind of like, it's like a plan. It's kind of like a plan M. You know, you shouldn't look at it as a plan B. You shouldn't look at it as a plan C, D, E, or F. It's way down. It's like maybe somebody's going to search the hashtags and they're going to find your post because of that. But it's not something that you should kind of build your whole strategy around. If you see some of the most popular content out there, they don't even use hashtags. Why? Because great content, great edutainment doesn't need hashtags. It doesn't. It really, you know what the best use for hashtags is, honestly, is to create your own hashtag. And then people can find all your content, or you can have other people using a hashtag, and you can, it's when you build community with hashtags, right? You can say, hey, I want you guys to go out and I'm going to share my win, and I want you to share a win. And I want you to tag me and say, hashtag your marketing BFF. So I can then reshare your wins onto my page, right? That's a way to find people's content. It's the way that large corporations use hashtags, right? Like big media companies, if a new, like somebody's doing some television, they'll say, hey, go in and for the Super Bowl, they might have said, go in and post on Twitter and tag hashtag Super Bowl contest. And that would be an easy way for them to go and find all the content from those users so there's creative ways to use hashtags, which can better kind of connect you with people out there. Besides in the ways that I just said, these are more advanced, a little bit more difficult to pull off. But at the end of the day, there's more uses to use hashtag than to just clobber my video with hashtags and hope that somehow those magically help. It's
Yeah,
just not one of those things you should base your whole strategy on, but it's helpful to at least understand their uses and add. I like your strategy. Try to find ones that are not used as much, because when you pull them up, right? When I pull weight loss journey, hashtag weight loss journey, it's gonna pull up all the 49 million posts, right? And usually on the app, it'll let you toggle between top and most recent, right? Right here, it's not even giving me the most recent option. So I just got to click on the top ones, which may be from a year ago. So, how many people are actually coming on to Instagram and typing in hashtags and going through like this? Probably a small percentage of the site. What's coming up for you?
That I think people also in the same industry sometimes use them to find inspiration for content. So it's not necessarily someone who is unemployed and looking for ways to make money. It's actually people who are bouncing off each other, but that still gives you a potential like or a view. So for me, it's just that 1 second I just added, just putting it out there and increasing my chances. So it doesn't hurt.
How have you gotten more comfortable on video to be able to create content that is wanting to be consumed by people? And how much are you talking versus using text on screen?
So for me, I do still need to get out of my comfort zone a little bit here. For instance, I haven't actually done a live by myself. I've done one with another person, which is kind of my comfort blanket, because then we could bounce off each other like we're doing now. So a majority of my content is still like music with text. And then I have some more like educational, where I actually speak like this is affiliate marketing broken down in 5 steps. So it's kind of a mix when I'm doing educational versus inspirational. And I'm also much better now. So that probably is the main difference from last time we spoke till now, is that I'm doing more lifestyle content on my stories. So people can relate to me in a different way. They get to get more of the insights, like behind the scenes of my life, not just what I'm promoting. So I think that's a great and also tip for people who are just starting out with social media. Use your stories to make people connect with you.
Yeah. So you're feeling more comfortable actually speaking up and being in your videos, but you haven't gone live yet. And it just blows my mind. I mean, I've never, I mean, some of the numbers that you just rattled off that you've been able to accomplish here in such a short period of time, and having not even fully utilized all the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's really mind blowing. I really want to congratulate you for taking the action that you took to be able to create these results without worrying about whether you're, going live or not going live, or it's the ability just to go, just to start, just to take the risk, the leap of faith, and start creating, start trying. Amalia, it's everything. It's everything. Anybody can buy something, friends. Anybody can swipe their credit card. Anybody can enroll in something. Anybody can do that. Not everybody has the willingness. It's just not even courage. It's just willingness to get uncomfortable. It's all it is. It's willingness. Do you have the willingness?
Yeah.
What's coming up for you?
The fact that I don't even have an ebook yet. Like, I just recorded a video at the very start, and it's like, I'm just gonna put it out there on in my sales funnel. And it's literally just me talking. I had to do a lot of takes in order to get it, but still, it's just like I haven't utilized everything I can. As you mentioned, I haven't gone live, don't have a proper lead magnet, and still I'm able to get these numbers. So if I can do it, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
It takes
Well,
action.
anybody who has the same willingness, can do it. That's the challenge, is matching. It's all the intangibles, the things that you can't see. See, somebody will make external judgments like, oh, people will say things like this. Well, I don't have the personality you do, or I don't have the looks you do, or this or that. And it's like those are all just you talking yourself out of your own goals and dreams and that's called a disease. It's comparisonitis. It's really an itis. It's a real bad thing. It's a problem. It'll rob you. It'll steal your dreams away from you. And I'm sure that even though you may look put together on the outside and look like you know what you're doing, and even sound like you know what you're doing, there's been a lot of days, if not the majority, that you felt unsure about yourself or had some of your own imposter syndrome. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I think it's so easy to compare yourself upwards. Like, everyone, even at the gym, you always compare yourself upwards, right? So for me as well, sometimes when I see people who have earned like triple, I go like, oh, okay, so are we doing anything different? And you almost start to compare. But it's about, like, you can't envy, because if you envy someone, you think it's not achievable for you. But like, I got to where I am and I didn't know I would be 3 months ago. So it's about like trusting the process, putting in the work. And on the days that you don't feel like it, I think just staying consistent. Because also I had like a life coach that I spoke about before I started all of this, just for personal reasons. And then he said, like, your perception isn't always the reality. So for me, it was on the days where I'll be like, so when I start posting, I was like, oh, maybe people find me cringe. And I go, no, my perception is always the reality. Maybe people will look at the video and find it inspirational instead. So it's about getting out of your own head sometimes, and just go for
Getting
it.
a different perspective, Imposter syndrome is also, in scientific terms, my friends, it's called the liking gap. And it's a real thing. You should, look into it, because it's a phenomenon. I'll prove it to you right now, that all of the doubt that you have in yourselves, all of the that you don't think that people like you, right? It's a phenomenon called the liking gap. And it's the liking gap is the disparity between how much a person believes that another person likes them and that other person's actual opinion. Studies have found that most people underestimate how much other people like them and enjoy their company. So theories for why the gap exists, research, okay? You can go and look this up and look into this for yourself. But this is the science. This is the phenomenon. I guess it's not. It's a phenomenon that happens within people, where we don't like the sound of our voice when we hear it on an answering machine. We don't like the way that we look when we see ourselves on a video, whereas we love the way that he or she looks. It's where we think that people don't want to receive a phone call from us, where we might be bothering them. How many of you feel like this? How many of you have felt like at some point, even recently, like, nobody wants to hear from me? You probably are feeling that right now within this business. And you're thinking, who would want to hear from me? I don't have anything to share. People would not. It's all right here. It's all right here, right? This is the kind of stuff that keeps people poor, is these kind of beliefs. I'm serious. These are the kind of thoughts that keep people poor, is that I'm not qualified. Nobody would want it, right? We whittle ourselves down. We whittle ourselves down like a piece of wood until we're down to a stump. And then we feel small, like the world's on top of us. And we go, I'm struggling. And then we say, it's their fault. No, You did that. You've done that to yourself over a period of years because of phenomenons like the liking gap, in exactly what you were talking about, Amalia, in which this life coach redirected and said, no, you're not cringe. Consider that people might actually get inspiration from this.
Yeah.
And that you're like, whoa, maybe they will. And then you went on to earn $40,000 over the next couple of months, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't get in your own way.
Yeah. And I remember from our last call, like you said something about don't stop before the magic happens. So that's also a good takeaway.
Absolutely. Well, we'll end there. And Amalia, it has been so fun, such a pleasure to catch up with you again. Really, congratulations. Like, you've done an incredible job. And I know that it's just the beginning for you. So stay legendary, my friend, and come back and see me for a third time.
Would love to.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Have a lovely weekend.
You too. See you.
Bye.
All right, my friends, go and please connect, follow Amalie. She needs your support. She's crushing it. She's kicking butt. Absolutely. But hey, as you just heard, you may see one thing out there, see her taking action, see her acting as if, see her moving forward despite her own imposter syndrome, but she's a real person just like you and me. I have similar struggles, or I shouldn't say struggles, challenges, right? Need to be careful of my language here. We're all human beings. You just got to hear the behind the scenes story of what it's been like for her. And guess what? That was a human story. There was no, the only magic was that she didn't quit. That was and then the results that came as a result of not quitting. So use this as inspiration to leap into the weekend, make today a powerful day, make today a meaningful day. Make today a defining moment in your journey. Somehow, some way, do something. Invest it. Some of you are on the fence about, should I enroll in the blueprints? If you don't enroll in the blueprints, I got an assignment for you. Go and spend $2,500 on yourself some other way then, but invest in you. Because I want to ask you, when's the last time that you invested in you? I know that you've invested in your children and your husband and your wife and your community and your job and in your employer and all this other stuff. You've invested in your boss. You've invested in all the other people who needed help moving and everything else, right? Phones ringing, always doing for others. When's the last time you invested in your own skills? When's the last time? And maybe you had a bad college or a college experience where you got a degree and you didn't use it, and you're thinking, investing in me is not worth it. Get out of that dirty, stinking thinking. Get out of that mental gutter, right? If you got burned in one relationship, does that mean that love no longer should exist in your life? My friends, you have to redirect your life. You have to say, oh, this is the direction I want to go, and make an invest. Doesn't matter. You're not going to change my lifestyle or anybody else's here if you invest in yourself or don't, but go through one of our courses or not. I mean, we had 23,000 people take the challenge. We got a thriving community here. If you say, oh no, it's not going to make or break us, but my friends, it might you. This might be a moment where it's like, sometimes we pray for, help, and then, God sends a helicopter and we're like, I want an airplane. It's like, this might be that blessing, what more do you want or need besides training, a blueprint, and a supportive community around you? Sometimes it's about reaching out and seizing something right when it's in front of you. So again, my point after this wonderful interview today is, if you don't invest in yourself here, if you don't invest in growing a business, is going to take time, it's going to take energy, it's going to take money. Those are the investments you're going to have to make. But if you don't invest in yourself here today at Legendary, go do it somewhere, because life is short. Life is short. And I'm sure you invest in a lot of other people. But do you feel at the end of every day like you've also taken care of yourself? And I think that's what this revolution is about. It's about saying, you know what? I'm not going to work to make the boss's life better. I'm not going to work to make their life better until I've made my life better. Right? I got to make my life back. I got to put the oxygen mask on me before I can put it on everybody else. And I think the old ways of working in taking care of ourselves, well, my number one priority is to take care of the family, whether I got to have 2 or 3 jobs. These are outdated thinking. It's outdated approaches to making money. There's too many other opportunities right here, right now, for you to build a business and have the life that you want, or a life at least that you like more than the one that you have right now. So use today as a day to make an investment in yourself of time, money, and energy, because you're worth it. And there's no other way to get what you want. You can't say there's no weeds in my, you can manifest all you want, but I can't sit here and say there's a Lamborghini in my driveway. There's a Lamborghini in my driveway that, I look at, there ain't no Lamborghini. I got to match some action with that affirmation, if you will. And so absolutely speak what you want up into existence right here today. Start talking about what you already have accomplished, how successful you already are, and allow through action taking that to come true. All right. You're worth it. You're worth investing in yourself here or somewhere else. You've done enough for everybody else. You're at your limit. You can't do more until you become more. And guess what? How do we become more? We develop new skills that allow us to get new resources. And now we have more money, more influence, more time to be able to make a greater impact. But you got to time out and you have to upgrade yourself. It's kind of like stopping and plugging in your phone to a charger. Many of y'all's batteries are almost empty. Time out. You need to invest in you. Whether it's here or somewhere else, you aren't going to get to the next level until you do. And you hear story after story, each and every, the difference between a lot of these people and you might be is that they just paused and applied a little patience and persistence. I was listening to a documentary last night about Jay-Z. And what a lot of people don't know is these guys will sit in the studio for days, sometimes weeks, listening to music, trying to find beats. And, we think that music is all this glitz and glamour, right? That they're in the studio and they're getting high and they're having fun and all this kind of stuff. But he said, you know what? He said, this business takes 2 things, patience and persistence. But today he's a billionaire because he knows that. And the same thing is true in this sport, my friends. Have a great weekend. Be legendary, my friends. We'll see you back on Monday for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. And for those of you in the blueprints today on coaching calls, if you care to join, my friends, thanks so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting. And thanks, Amalie, for a wonderful interview and all of our guests this week. Get out of here. Peace.